So, how did you get started in the sports directing? I know you were a sports director at WFIE for 3 years.
Mhm.
How did you get started in the whole field?
Yeah, so, well, honestly, it was all thanks to WVUA, 23, working there in Tuscaloosa. I thought I wanted to be a producer. That was kind of it because they make you do everything there, report, produce, edit, and things like that. And then our coworker at the time, I worked with Zach, your professor, and then our other coworker, Brandon, he convinced me, he was like, you have to be on camera. So I was like, okay. And I graduated in December of 2017. And, it's hard getting into sports media. It really, really is. So I kind of, sent in applications for about a month. And the first job that reached out to me, actually one of two jobs at the same time, was Evansville. And, I didn't really know what being a sports director entailed until, I kind of took the job and figured it out. But it was one of the best.
Mentioning those experiences Alabama gives you, I know that you covered the 2018 national championship game, and that was right before I was a freshman. So, what was that like covering that huge game for us?
It was wild. I literally just got chills just like thinking about it. And I went to Atlanta with our WVUA 23 crew. And the thing was, and I kind of had to I had already graduated at that point. I graduated early. So I was kind of like 2-3 weeks out. I'd already seen a national championship my sophomore year. So it was kind of like, okay. And for anybody who remembers that game, we didn't have the hottest start. We were down at half, and really the whole momentum was all Georgia. And so I remember me, Zach, and Brandon, we all kind of, they put you like in an auxiliary media booth, which is technically with the crowd. We literally were like in the arena sitting there. We weren't in a press box or anything like that. Oh, at halftime, I was like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. So we went to the media workroom, and, we started to hear them coming back. You could hear the crowd and things like that. Because at that point, I had to resign myself. Yeah, I'm a fan, but I have to cover, if Georgia wins, I'm going to have to cover them when the confetti falls. So I just kind of had to distance myself from the whole being a fan aspect of it, because that was me for 4 years. Bradley Bozeman proposed to his girlfriend right next to me, and she said yes. And Tua was thanking his family in the stands. It was unreal. It was like one of those things that you always picture covering.
That sounds pretty amazing right there. It honestly sounds like a dream to me. Is there any advice or tips that you can give to people, like students like myself, that are going into the industry out of college, or who have maybe already started a little bit and are interning somewhere? Is there anything you can kind of tell them that may give them a head advantage or something like that that you wish you would have known?
In this business, unless you're like Reese Davis's son or something like that, or Kirk Herbstreit's son, unfortunately. But yeah, I just think it's make sure you network well, and pay your dues, and hopefully those dues aren't too big.